And we're back. Welcome everyone to episode 9 of the Lean Eats podcast. Shout out to everyone on YouTube. Shout out to everyone on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. We've got listeners coming from the Netherlands, from Ireland, from the UK, Poland, Spain, the United Arab Emirates, South Africa, USA. The list goes on and on and on. We're going international with the podcast. But Paudie, how's it going? How are you getting on?
All good, yeah. Loving the sun. I got a bit burnt out in the sun there the other day going for a swim. Couldn't deadlift this morning because the bar kept scraping off my burn, which is sad.
Oh,
So wear protection in the sun, wear sunscreen and all that because it affects the gym affects the grind. Enjoying the
SPF
sun.
50.
That's it. Back to work in about 3 weeks. The pubs have been cut short again, unfortunately. We've been let down by the country, so no pubs. But back to work in about 3 weeks, so got to keep pushing in the gym, make the most of the 3 weeks off, and see how it goes. Also got my buzz cut back for the sun.
Love to
Uh,
see it.
yeah,
Aerodynamic.
yeah, exactly. Aerodynamic in the gym. Warning also, where everyone who has hair like me, make sure to wear a sun cap because heat stroke. That's yeah.
Yeah, Paudie had a bad weekend with the heat stroke and the sunburn by the sound of
Yeah,
things. That's not going to
sad
support your
times.
training
Sad
anyway,
times. How are
lad.
you?
Load up on the water, load up on the sun caps. I'm not bad now, Paudie. Lot of racing since we last were on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So very tired, very tired. Lot of coffee as well. Went up to Dublin last week. Very nice spots up there. There's no DB beans up there, unfortunately, but got to a few cafes. Very nice. Had a bit too much coffee, and my sleep was absolutely destroyed all week, which kind of leads into what we'll talk about later in the episode. Going to be a bit of a sleep centered episode yet again. Paudie's got his blue light blocking glasses ready. Um, really prioritizing the sleep, especially after getting a sunburn. You need to recover from that. But Paudie, before we get on to that, there's been so much going on in the world of sport. I don't think we can even begin to talk about the Euros because that Switzerland France game. I don't know if you saw it, Paudie. It was
It
absolutely
is.
gripping. But
Yeah.
there's so much to talk about in the athletics world, and there's so much to talk about in the world's strongest man as well. We're going to go back to you for your report on that. Did the Stoveman brothers? How did they fare in the world's strongest man?
My prediction was correct. They both made the final, and Tom Stolman came out on top. He won it. Brian Shaw was second, which I didn't see coming at all. I thought he was a bit too old. He's about 45, 46, I think. I thought his day was gone, but he was second, and can't even remember. To be
Jeez.
honest, he was third place. It doesn't really matter that much either. So uh, the other Stallman brother kind of bottled it. He was third coming into the last event and ended up seventh. But I think it was his best result ever in a World Strongest Man competition. So he did very well. Other than that, as well, in the sporting world, huge achievement in the shot put by Ryan Krauser from America in the US trials, the Olympic trials. He broke the world record in shot put. I don't know, was it 30 years old or something? It was very old anyway,
Something like
and
that.
yeah, 30 year, and he broke by about 17 centimeters, which is mad. But he was looking class. Like even the predictions we said back along for the Olympics, who's going to win the shot put? I said Ryan Krauser. I think I did, yeah. And it looks like he's going to win it. So everyone looking for betting tips, come listen to the Leanies podcast because we kind of we're on the ball with them. Like
Yeah, I think the Leanie's podcast successfully predicted the world's strongest man. Looks on track to predict the Olympic champion in the shot put, and we also predicted when Dave was going to drop titanium and mercury out of nowhere with
yes,
no hints. So phenomenal stuff here. But I let us down in the prediction department. I think if it's coming from Paudie, it might be more reputable because I said in that Olympic video, I believe that Mo Farah might have a fighting chance coming back into the 10K and the marathon, and Mo Farah didn't even qualify for the Olympics. It was actually devastating. Mo Farah would have been a hero of mine when I was a young man, But just watching him not able to get standard was sad. But he's old now. His priorities are elsewhere. He's on I'm a Celebrity now, so that's where most of you probably know him from. Um, but yeah, once he started getting on with the shot put as well, though, I actually watched that on Twitter and it was insane. The second he threw it, he knew that he got the world record. That's what I thought was insane about that.
Yeah,
Like
he did.
he he was so fluid in it, and he's been so dominant for so long. Am I right in saying that, Paudie, that he's just been the outright favourite from the very
He
start
has.
to win that?
He has. Yeah, I suppose for the last since the last Olympic Games,
On reality TV, I think it's the end of your athletic career, really. But
he's been very quiet on social media and stuff. But he did come out there with a few bench PBs, a few squat PBs, cleans and stuff. So if you're getting PBs in those, and if you're staying fast and lean, like you're looking like you're gonna do some huge throws, which he did.
him staying off social media probably benefited him in some way. Better
Yeah,
sleep, just more focus as well on what you're doing.
and
Can help to
also
take a break.
speaking of staying off social media, did you see sure Eddie Hall and Thor Hafnor Bjornsson, the two strongmen fighting in September? The two lads, Eddie Hall has upped his followers on YouTube by a fortune. Like he's over, I don't know, is he over 2 million followers now or something? And the other fella, the mountain like Thor from Game of Thrones, he was nowhere to be seen on social media, no boxing videos or anything. And now he came out only about a month or two ago on social media, and he's tearing it up now. Like he's getting more followers. Well, he doesn't have more followers than Eddie Hall yet, but he's getting there, and he's absolutely ripped. He's in unbelievable shape. The biggest man I've ever seen, I'd say.
What's your prediction now? If you're talking about your prowess with the predictions in the Olympics and with the strongest man, who's winning the mountain versus Eddie Hall?
I'd still say Eddie Hall. I think he's meaner. Eddie Hall is,
Eddie Hall.
I'd say, definitely. Eddie Hall, yeah, he doesn't have the height or reach advantage. He doesn't look as lean, but his punch is incredible. Like he recorded, there's some UFC fighter I would know now, Aiden Cregan, name drop. He'd know better now, but there's some fella in the UFC has like one of the hardest punches in history, and Eddie Hall beat it in a YouTube video. So he does have an incredible punch, and he's got way more crit. Like I think he wants to win it way more than the mountain does, and it's always on the day. Like whoever wants it more is going to win it. So I think Eddie Hall. I'd put your money on him.
I'm gonna back the mountain, to be honest, Potty. From what you said, just the isolated example of him taking that time away from social media and just grafting, whereas Eddie Hall's been grafting in one sense on social media. I feel like the mountain's just that bit more focused, but we'll see with that. But surely though, with the what you're saying about the strongest punches, like Eddie Hall would be in a different weight class to the guy in the UFC. Then, am I right in saying that?
He would be, yeah, by about 30 kg, I'd say.
Yeah, see those UFC fighters, I think it's very we can underestimate their ability too in a way. Like I feel like you see these celebrity boxers, like did you see Logan Paul fought Floyd
Joke,
Mayweather
yeah.
as joke? But at the same time though, like there was not necessarily a weight difference. There's such a big height difference that like Logan Paul was actually able to stay in the ring with him. I know Floyd held back his punches a bit, but like I feel like boxing something that like you get these celebrities in, they can survive a lot better. But if you threw even someone like Eddie Hall, this is my own opinion, if you threw the likes of Eddie Hall or like a world's strongest man in a UFC cage, I take a UFC fighter any day, regardless of the
I
weight.
would. Yeah,
They're
I would
beasts.
definitely. Skill over power, I'd say. In that say in UFC, because the lads could dodge him, come from behind, and just do whatever. Whereas if it's two huge men with the same amount of skill in a ring, like it's a fair fight. But if you have one lighter man with way more skill, like he's coming out on top, I'd say.
Yeah, 100%,
Yeah,
100%. But
like without a doubt. Like even I was discussing it with a few of my friends before. Like I'm 93 kg, and definitely like no questions. I'd say uh the 50 kilo women in UFC would take me.
Ronda Rousey, like,
I'd say she's born 50 kilos, is she?
yeah, I'd say she's around 60, 70.
She'd definitely kill me. But
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
say Yeah. Oh yeah. No question.
They're just so agile. Like so, we had a Tai Chi teacher. That Tai Chi teacher came into us in transition year, and some of the moves he was pulling on us, and he was doing them very lightly and very slowly. But I used to try to recreate them for ages at home, on like my younger brother, and like just trying to like see if I could do it on the lads I was friends with as well. And the amount of skill that goes into it, I think that like these people in these mixed martial arts is so impressive. But there's so much like fundamentals in the likes of like different aspects of health, like the likes of meditation and the likes of just like whole movements and stretching and yoga that they like take into their practice that really just helps them to like get to that next level and the amount of discipline you need in it. Um, like I don't really know how that kind of ties into them just being better fighters, but I suppose fighting like it's really a mental battle. Like if you're just getting pounded again and again and again in the ring, like what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I suppose mental game is a lot to do with it. Like, but if your mental state, if you're in the right place, like, and if your head's in the game, thinking you're going to win, but if you come across a guy who has more skill than you, then it can
Mm,
your mentality can only go so far. I know you will have that more want to win, like, but it's whoever kind of has the most training, I suppose, the most skill and everything. Like you can have the heart for it, but you need to do the training. So I'm guessing whoever has done the most training, has the most power, the most skill, is going to beat the guy with the brain
the
every
best
day.
head.
Like,
I feel in a fight though, the guy who's got that grit and determination. Like if you are the more determined of the two fighters, you're going to train more anyway. That's just my own thoughts. But one man who you can't question his desire and his mental grit was Cole Hocker. Did you see the U.S. Olympic trials at all in 1500?
no, I didn't.
So this is insane now. The top three in 1500, there was Cole Hocker, Matthew Centrowitz, and this this guy who runs with Notre Dame. His name is just completely escaped me. But like two of the top three guys in 1500 in the US were both in the collegiate system. So they were both our age or younger, and they're going to the Olympics and they're top runners in 1500. So it was insane to see that. Shout out to the college programs over in America. Did you see as well today, Paudie? Historic day. I don't know if you knew it before, but in the NCAA in America with college sports, you couldn't like sell your own image rights. So athletes couldn't make money while they were in college over in the States, but as of today, they can.
Oh, that's
So
unreal.
they can go professional now. And like the quality of college sports over there is insane. Like, do you know the way we'd have like, say in football, we'd like in soccer, like we'd have like the championship or like the lower like sort of quality Premier League teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what the college teams are in America, and they usually don't get paid for it. So mad to see that, mad to see that. But there was really good running all around. I don't know if you saw as well, Paudie, that we have quite a bit of a contingent going from Ireland to the Olympics in Tokyo. Very young team as well. Do you see that? Louise Shanahan from Leavale is going. That's our
I
club
did.
actually that myself and Paudie
Unbelievable.
train with. Unbelievable. It's
Yeah.
only about how old is she? It's about 23, 24.
23.
23.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
say 23.
that's insane. Like it's actually mad because I actually would train with Louise before, and it's like first time I could say that. Oh, I used to actually train with someone that's going to the Olympics. And it's mad because it's so close to home, and we actually have so many Olympians in our athletics club in Leaville. Hopefully, many more in the future. No doubt there will be. Myself and Paudie might be there. Who knows? Um, but yeah, there's like Michelle Finn is going as well, and Alex Wright is going in the race walk. They all have very good chance of doing well at it. That's the thing. Like they're not just going to make up the numbers, and that's what you really want to see. Did you see? Is there anyone in like say the hammer throw or like any of the field events selected for the Olympics?
No throwers from Ireland. No, there's rarely ever any throwers from Ireland. I think there are two lads right coming up though that could get in the next 4 years, like the next Olympics maybe. So they'd be to watch out for, but not none at the moment. I'm not sure about long jump, high jump, and all that, but none from throwing. Sadly,
The standard's so high. Like I don't know about you,
yeah.
Poddy, but when I started, like the standard was a lot lower, and like we didn't actually have a lot of athletes going to the Olympics, especially on the track. Like I remember 2016, we had one 800 runner, in the men's, and we Kieran McGeehan as well, and then we'd Thomas Bear and we'd Robert Heffernan, and that was about it really. Like we had Michelle Finn and stuff on the girls' side, but like the standard wasn't the same, and it's actually really mad to see. And we could talk about that all day, but we have a podcast episode to get to,
Yes.
and I don't want to put viewers to sleep. But if you do decide to go to sleep, this is the place to be. We're going to give you your advice on how to get the best sleep and make the most out of your sleep. So, Paudie, you're the go-to man for the tech on this podcast. You've got
Cool.
the lovely little glasses on at the moment. Do you want to tell us about that? What's that involved with?
So these are blue light filter glasses. Of
Mm,
course, I'm in front of my computer screen at the moment, and it's emitting blue light. There's, as Nick Littlehales told us in an episode a few episodes back, there's blue light everywhere, like in your light bulb, in your room, on your computer screen, on your phone, everywhere. So these help to just emit it, and it does help you to sleep better at night. Like I do find that I'm falling asleep within like 10 minutes. Sometimes it could take me like half hour before, but the last I'd say the last month and a half in particular, my sleep's gone way better. Like, and that's no word of a lie. I think the main things for that as well. Like the biggest thing is the constant wake up time. I've been getting up between 8 and 8:30 every day for the last 6 weeks,
mm.
maybe bar 2 or 3 mornings when I had to have a lie in. But I do think that the consistent wake up times is so much better as well. I've stopped doing evening gym sessions because just your blood be flowing like, and I
The
wouldn't be able to
adrenaline.
sleep. Yeah, the adrenaline be pumping, and if you do an evening session, like it's going to be hard to go to sleep. So I've been waking up 8 to 8:30, gym for 9, done the gym and all by
Mm.
half 10, like, and you're kind of set up for the day, and you're still tired by the time you want to go back to sleep around 10 or about 11, 12 o'clock, like, uh, and even like 12 o'clock seems late, but I'd be asleep for 12, maybe for half 11, 12, but I'm still getting my 8.5 hours sleep, waking up at 8:30.
That
So yeah.
that's it. You're getting your 5 sleep cycles, like the 90-minute sleep cycles as Nick was talking about before. Um, with your glasses there, Putty, they're sort of filtering out the blue light or like blocking it in a way, I suppose, is it? Just like
They
late at
are.
night you'd wear them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I I believe the principle behind that so is that like the blue light actually is a good thing. I remember Nick was saying that, and anyone that listened to that episode, he talked about how like the blue light, you could get like earphones that emit blue light and that they'd wake you up more than say a coffee would. And I don't think that would necessarily translate into say performance, but in terms of feeling fresh and being mentally awake, I think he's definitely on something there. Like blue light releases serotonin, which is great. It makes us happy. It's a happy hormone. Makes us feel awake as well. It's a very positive thing. Like blue light's a good thing. Like as Paudie was saying, there's blue light everywhere. You can see outside Paudie's window if you're watching on YouTube. There's blue light coming in. There's blue light coming in here as well. If I throw on a lamp, there's blue light. But it's a good thing in some ways, but at the same time, you don't want to have too much of it in the evening because you can get too much of anything. Because in the evening, you want to convert that serotonin into melatonin. And there's actually like there's so many ways that you can sort of optimize that process. I believe you were telling me, Paudie, that you've like a lamp that
I
emits
do.
light. Do you want to tell us about that?
So I bought this light bulb. Just literally screw out your current one, screw that one back in, and it has loads of different settings on it. So rather than just having the constant blue light, it's not great, especially when you're getting ready for bed, like, to go to sleep. So what I got is this. It's a Philips Hue bulb. So I put it into the socket, and I switched the setting to daylight. So it's literally like having your blinds open when you're getting changed or whatever, getting ready for bed,
Man,
and the sun. It's like sunlight in your room, and it looks unreal. I'll try and get. I could get a couple of pictures up even on the Instagram page of it, and it's class. Like as well, it can wake you up in the morning. You can set a timer and wake up to sunrise rather than waking up to your light bulb. Like, so it is class. It does help with sleep. It also helps, alarms. Everyone hates the sound of alarms in the morning. This is a
hmm.
much nicer way to wake up.
I'd say it's a lot better for you too, though, if you're woken up by the natural light. Like I'd say you just
Yeah.
feel very fresh. Like you can nearly attack the day a lot earlier on, I suppose, than
Hmm.
feeling groggy in the morning. Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah, you're right there. But just like the the best way to wake up really is sunlight. Like just open
Mm.
your curtains, and if you want to get one of those bulbs, like just look them up. I got it on Amazon. It was about, it was less than €30, about €20. I know a light bulb is less than a tenner, but it is an energy efficient one, so it does save energy. Could last 3-4 times longer than a regular light bulb, and you can get all different shades on it. It's classic.
Yeah, I believe Nick was even saying it to us, Polly, that like you see people investing in their recovery now, and people invest in like recovery boots and ice baths and massage guns, and I know we both do that, and that's okay. But at the same time, it's like we spend about almost a half or like 30 to 40% of our day sleeping, but none of us will invest into like our sleep setup and like having a good mattress or having a good set of blinds that are going to block out the light at night, or having glasses like yourself, or even as you were saying, like investing an extra €20 for a light bulb that's going to make you feel so much fresher. It just seems like a logical thing to do when you're going to spend so much time sleeping. Maybe we'll link the Philips Hue bulb. We'll link that in the show notes below. Anyone that's interested in that, definitely check it out. I haven't actually used it, but would I be right in saying you can like have a setting that say you want to wake up at 7:30, the light will slowly start to turn on around 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then like fully reach like as if your blinds are open at 7:30. Is that how it operates?
There, it does, but you can't. It doesn't happen that slowly. It happens fairly quick. So it might just be like goes from very light to very dark in about 5 minutes. So I have my timer on to um, yeah, to wake up around 8. I usually change it between 8 and half 8, depending on if I want that extra small bit in sleep or not. So have to wake me up at say 8, and it starts turning on around 5 to 8, and gradually goes to full sunrise.
Okay, yeah. So you're really making the most of the day night cycle too, I suppose. Just getting the light in. That's
Yeah,
just gonna wake you up, get the serotonin early on. Um, In terms of what you were saying there as well, Paudie, I completely forgot to say it at the time, but it actually crossed my mind while you were saying it too. Was that like being active through the day and making sure that it's not too late in the evening? That's so important for your sleep. Like, not even in terms of like a very simple tense of like tiring yourself out, but it's again you're out in the sun all day. You don't necessarily need like one of these lamps. It's like getting out in the morning, getting out in the day. Your body needs to know. Like if you go back to like back when we would have been cavemen or whatever, like your body needs to know the difference between it's bright, it's daytime, I need to be awake, and it's dark, it's nighttime, it's time to go to sleep. And like exercising is one way that you can kind of distinguish between that. And like as you were saying, if you do it too late in the evening, you're just going to get these rush of hormones like adrenaline are just going to get released in your body, which are great when you do get them. But when it's too late, it's just going to keep you up and you can be nearly wired. That's what I find. Um, and I know we were talking earlier about like social media and how like staying off that can help your sleep. I remember Nick was saying it's something to do with like your stress more so than the blue light. Even the blue light gets bad stigma, but that like stress is like the biggest deterrent to sleep, and it's because of cortisol, which also gets released after exercise. Um, I think you were saying that there was stuff with Wim Hof with cortisol as well to do with the deep breathing techniques.
it does that helps with sleep as well. Like if you are struggling to get to sleep, there are breathing techniques that Wim Hof discusses in his book, and on he has podcasts and on Instagram and everything of how to kind of prepare yourself for sleep. So it does just kind of breathing obviously calms you down, and you want to be calm before you go to sleep.
Mm.
One big thing I've been doing as well that Nick Little has kind of talked about a small bit, but I kind of took my own uh, avenue with it, is making a to do list for every day so that you are going to sleep with less stress. So I have my to do list. I'll check my emails if I can get around to my emails before 5 o'clock. Like I wouldn't be getting many, I'll be from college now and
Mm.
junk mail and stuff like that, and kind of clear that out. I'll make sure first thing in the morning I make my bed so as you have your bed ready to go in to at night. So that's on my to do list. That'll be my first thing checked off. uh, clearing things. I
I
don't
s-
reply to messages really, or start a message for at like 11 o'clock, because you're just going to be thinking about what's the reply going to be. So wait till the morning, send those important messages, important emails in the morning, and then by the time it gets to 5, 6 o'clock, hopefully they're replied to, and you can deal with it then. So to do lists are very good.
yeah, I find having a to-do list is so important, even not even in terms of sleep, but in terms of just giving yourself mental clarity. And as you were saying, like to de-stress there in that sort of way, I suppose. Like if you can like visualize what you have to do in a day and just actually like have it written down, it's just so much less stress than having to think about it all day and think about what you need to get done, and actually just to actually see it and put it into writing, I suppose. um Definitely a big thing there. It was there. I remember we had a lot of questions last time, Paudie, from the viewers out there on the effects of different things on sleep that we wanted to get through with Nick. And anyone that listened to that would have seen we just didn't have enough time. Nick, to be fair, gave us really in-depth answers to everything we did ask. So I think we thought we'd have a lot more time for questions than we did. But was there any specific topics there that spring to mind, Paudie, that we didn't get to speak on?
Um, I think one person asked me what do our dreams mean, but I don't think that was a question for Nick
Hmm.
really, and I don't know. I don't know either. I know there's some books
I
you can get there tell you what your dreams mean.
I actually have read a book on that. It's like have you ever read Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker?
Oh, I have. I listened to some of the Audible. You were telling me about it.
Yeah, so I'd actually first off I'll highly recommend that to anyone as well as Nick's book. Um, like Nick's book kind of tells you what to do to sleep better, but this guy's book nearly tells you like what sleeping actually does, and it's like when you dream, it's in is it the non-REM stage of sleep, or no, it's a REM stage of sleep, and I think it's deep REM sleep. And it's basically just to like consolidate any memories that you had throughout the day is why we dream. But your dreams just like take a life of their own. And I know you can get like meanings from dreams. And like I know like I had a dream the other day that all the giraffes got released from FOTA and that they like evolved and they were massive and they were trying to attack me. And like what that means, I don't know. Maybe there's a giraffe apocalypse coming, so stay tuned for that. Maybe, but
Why are you running? Why are you running?
like I I don't think a lot of times our dreams contextually have meaning, but your brain's just trying to process a lot of information, and that's just how it does it in a way. Like if you ever see people that have had PTSD, they haven't been able to like sleep properly after like say the traumatic event occurred, and they couldn't consolidate it in their dreams, so they never come to terms with it, and they like constantly dream about it then because they haven't like gotten through a full night's sleep from it. So there are reasons why we dream. I don't think I really like properly answered that there even, but definitely check out Matthew Walker's book for that.
And there's some like witchy kind of books out there, that you can get, and it tells you. Like I know one of my friends has this book on all different sleeps, and if you ever, if you're wondering if I'm ever wondering what a dream means, she'll tell me like.
Yeah.
But
Do you ever have one of
obviously,
those like really really creepy ones where it's like this has to be something that everyone's had? Like I
yeah.
dreamt before all my teeth fell out. It's
I
apparently
always I've
significant.
there. Yeah, I must find out what that's about, but that's happened to me a lot of times.
Oh,
Yeah,
I,
or jumping from a height.
yeah. What's that? What's that?
I don't know. Maybe that you're
Oh, do you
daredevil or something.
do you ever get those dreams? And I remember hearing about this in Nick's book as well. Um, Getting very sidetracked here, but do you ever have those dreams where you like dream that you like walk down a step, and it's very early on in your sleep, and you walk down a step, and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden you feel like you're falling. Oh, nothing worse. Nothing
yeah.
worse. Your body's actually like
I
putting you
know.
in check when you do that though. It's trying to like test your fight or flight response or something like that. Um, it's fascinating what our body does, like, and like, that just shows you though, like like if you look at evolution, man, and like so many things that we had just like disappeared after a while. Sleep has to be important because every animal does it, and there's some animals do it for like 16, 18 hours a day. Like I recently got a puppy, sleeps for 14 hours a day. Like that's just so they can grow. Like you,
Yeah.
you need to get your sleep in. Like so don't sleep on the power of sleep, guys. There's so much to it. Someone asked me, Paudie, about the different foods affecting sleep. We talked a lot about the great sides of caffeine last week, but I think like we obviously want to keep a bit of integrity with our podcast, and we try to be as honest as possible. Like we'll never hide the truth from you. Like if we don't know something, we won't be able to tell you. But obviously caffeine's great, but like in terms of our sleep, it's not the best. Do you want to touch on that at all, Poddy?
Oh, cool. Yeah, I don't usually have coffee after about like 3 o'clock, because obviously it'll keep you awake. I think how long does caffeine stay in your system? You know.
It's a half life of 14 hours, so quite a while. Quite a while.
Yeah, that's a long time. But no, I don't have caffeine really coming up close to sleep. I do have a few sleep teas, like nice chamomile teas. They're nice and soothing before bed. But great tips here now, a great insight. If you're looking for, uh, if you're looking for some weird dreams, some of the foods you should have before bed. Okay, bananas are very good if you want to have an enjoyable sleep. Like not an enjoyable in the sense that you'll sleep right through, but an enjoyable sense as if it's going to be as if you're like in a movie in your dreams.
It's
Bananas.
going to be
But what's
vivid.
a step up, an absolute step up from bananas is kiwis. So have a kiwi. Everyone, as soon as you listen to this, have a kiwi before you go to sleep. And trust
Can
me,
I
you'll have.
actually just say about the kiwis? I I read a paper on how kiwis are one of the best foods for like actually improving your sleep. I know you said you get wacky dreams from them too, but I I tried that, like having a kiwi before I went to bed. First off, maddest dreams ever. So I can attest with what Poddy said there. But
Yeah.
I felt so refreshed, so refreshed. Like even if you want to know the mechanisms behind it, like kiwi is rich in tryptophan, which is the protein that helps to produce serotonin, which again produces melatonin that we were talking about earlier, that helps to just like get you to sleep that bit better. But man, yeah, I definitely agree with Poddy there. It's really, really high quality sleep after that. Yeah, no, Poddy's onto something there though, because like it's actually funny. A lot of these foods you're talking about that you're saying that can give you wild dreams or like nightmares and stuff, like they're actually shown to like help improve your quality of sleep too. And if you're dreaming, that's a sign that your sleep is good. Like, but it's magnesium in that as well. Helps improve your sleep slightly. Chamomile tea, you said that as well, Poddy. Poddy's got all the
Yeah,
foods here on just
dude.
banked, like all of them
Yeah.
banked. Chamomile tea is one that's been shown to be the best in affecting sleep. It helps to start sleep a bit better. Cherry juice, have you ever heard about that, Poddy? What is it? It contains tryptophan, again, which helps to produce melatonin. Um, and then fish. Fish are another good one. You won't have them too late, but just having them in your diet, just having a better diet anyway, and avoiding caffeine late at night, that's going to help your sleep a lot. Um, do you have any other foods, Potty? I'm sorry I cut across you. When
Oh
I hear
no.
food, my brain goes into overdrive.
No, I have nothing else. I think kiwis is the main one though. Kiwis is the
Mm.
crazy one, so have that, and then of course chocolate. But I don't like you. Don't even have the chocolate for to get the weird dreams. It's just because it's delicious.
Chocolate! Chocolate! Chocolate!
Delicious, delicious. Is there any flavour of the dark chocolate you go for? Or is it just plain dark chocolate?
Um, yeah, just plain dark chocolate. Oh, with little tints of mint in it.
Oh yes, yes.
Love it.
Joint tea mint.
Mint chocolate is very underrated. I think mint crisp from Dairy Milk is unbelievable.
This is a podcast I can really vibe in now. Like,
Yeah,
I'm really. I think we should actually cut the sleep segment short and just talk about mint based chocolate and
yeah. John
confectionery
talk.
for the rest of the
Yeah,
episode.
after eights are
After
lovely, but
eight,
the goo in the middle is a joke.
the mint chocolate chip ice cream as well can't be beaten.
Yes,
Unbelievable,
Ben and
unbelievable.
Jerry's. I'm a huge Ben and Jerry's fan. They have a mint one that I must try. I might even drive down for it someday, maybe tomorrow, and get it.
Do you ever try the low calorie Ben and Jerry's?
Nah.
Very, very nice. Very nice. It's actually a
Very
good
good.
option as well. Anyone that's trying to like
I'm a
treat themselves.
I,
Yeah, like you could have a full tub and you'd have
yeah.
500 calories. Yeah.
That's class because
So
in the regular tubs it's about 1,200.
yeah, so like obviously 500 calories is still quite a hefty amount, but it's like anyone that's trying to lose weight, or trying to like watch their calories, like throwing in a Ben and Jerry's like low calorie ice cream, that could be a good strategy too, and it's actually savage. Like I actually haven't had normal Ben and Jerry's, believe it or not, but I've had low calorie one, and it's phenomenal,
That's disgraceful.
phenomenal. Um,
Yeah,
I know, yeah. I need to get on it. I might try the fish food. I've heard good things.
unbelievable. My second favorite one,
What's your favorite?
peanut butter cup.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah, that's
nice.
mad.
That's nice. That's
I love
nice.
that. Yeah,
I I haven't tried peanut butter ice cream really. Only low calorie ones. I wasn't sure what to make of it, but I love peanut butter anyway.
peanut butter is
Um,
unbelievable.
um, Paudie, what are some of like the effects of not getting enough sleep that you've seen in yourself?
Ooh, definitely like gym. Like you wouldn't see
Mm,
your performance in the gym wouldn't be anywhere as good as well. Like I suppose you'd be a bit grumpy if your sleep isn't great, and that's not good for anyone. Not for you or people around you. Like so,
mm,
that's another one as well.
no.
Suppose you would be far less efficient for the entire day. Like sleep. Can't think. Suppose like literally like the day revolves around sleep. Like you can't have a good day unless you've had a good night's sleep. It
Yeah,
starts. It's
phenomenal.
every day starts and ends in the bed.
That's it. That's it. I feel like I'm talking to Nick Littlehales all over again. Hearing that. But yeah, no, even what you're saying there with like your mental state or even like trying to function properly there. Like I remember reading a study recently where there was a cohort of college students in Oxford, and they were studying for some exam, and they had like three groups. One, they had their sleep like restricted night before the exam. One had it like 2 days before the exam, and one wasn't restricted at all. And they had 3 days to study for this test, and they all like learned it the same day. They were given the same material, same access to resources, and like the two groups that like had their sleep like reduced all performed a lot worse in the study than anyone that like had their sleep was unaffected, and that was like controlled for all factors there. So I thought that was mad, just like the sheer like effect it could have if you like 2 days on it still affects you. But you were talking about the gym as well, Poddy. Did you know that like having chronic sleep deprivation lowers your testosterone levels?
I didn't. No.
No, no, yeah,
No.
it's definitely something to keep in mind. Keep in mind
Yeah.
if you want to be like hitting your peak in any, it doesn't even have to be a strength based sport. Like testosterone's important for everything. Um, Even in terms of your overall health, like make sure you get enough sleep. Um, as well as your immune function as well. And a lot of people don't understand why that like plays a role in performance. If you're a sick body, are you able to train?
Mm, no. Not really.
No,
I
no.
still would, but obviously if I'm sick, like if I have a cold or something, I won't go to the gym. But if I have like stomach pains, I wouldn't go. No, I wouldn't go if I'm
No.
sick. Uh, would you?
So, no, and see, the thing is, it's like being sick itself doesn't necessarily affect your performance. It's the fact that like you end up missing training, and it's the same for it increases your injury risk, which isn't good in the sense that like yeah, you might not get injured, but if you do, like that's going to be a month or two of training that you're going to miss, and that like you know better than anyone. If you tie together like a good 4 or 5 weeks of training, like you'll be flying. Like so important for your like cognitive function. I actually it just hit me. I said earlier that caffeine had a half life of 14 hours. It's actually 4 to 6 hours. 14 hours is a bit bonkers, but like I think we've given you quite a bit of tips on like how to sleep well and like why like not sleeping is
I think
important.
so.
But I think one take home message that Nick gave us in the last podcast. Anyone who hasn't listened to it, we'll just give it to you now. That if say you're like going to bed and you realize that you've had a coffee at 6 o'clock and your preparation before it has been great, you like trained at 8 o'clock, and then say you had a big meal, and you're feeling a bit sluggish after that, and then say you were on your phone for ages, and then what do you think's better, like going to sleep in the state where you're like, oh no, my sleep's going to be terrible, or just like going to sleep relaxed and saying, look, this was one day, I can get back on it. It's obviously better to just not be stressed going to sleep. And
Yeah, true.
I think he was saying just like there's no point being stressed about sleep because that's going to make your sleep even worse. So I think he was saying like not focus on pre-sleep too much. I remember we were asking him what to do just before you go to sleep, and it's just like the whole day is going to play like more of an impact than just the hour before you go to sleep. So definitely take like a holistic approach to it. Like, is there any other tips you found have worked for you, Paudie, or do you want to wrap it up there?
No, not really. I think just the main ones that I've been using is the constant wake up time and setting like a to do list for the day. So as you're going to sleep, knowing that you've
Mm,
achieved everything you needed for the entire day. That's it, really.
yeah,
I'd
they're very
no
solid
other
tips.
tips.
Very
What about
solid
yourself?
tips.
Any other tips?
I, I find staying off my phone, especially when we did Challenge 24 a while ago, staying off my phone an hour before bed. That just helped to get me to settle down and just reading a book. Like, I know you're stimulating your mind, but it helps you sort of drift away. And stretching before I go to bed, just because they're mindless activities, and just keeping the room dark as well. I have blackout blinds right here. Really helps big time when I'm trying to get to sleep. But yeah, that's about it. I think we can kind of wrap it up.
Yeah.
Any words you want to give to the listeners before we go, Paddy?
No, just enjoy the summer, enjoy the sun, and don't forget to sleep, and
And
don't forget to like and subscribe. But most importantly, don't forget to sleep.
that that's it. I don't think I could have said it any better. Thanks for tuning in. Please make sure to follow Paddy on Instagram at Paddy Powerlifts. Is that it, Paddy?
Going for a big bench tomorrow. It's going to come up on the Paudie Powerlifts Instagram page. One of the debut, the second post is coming. It's coming tomorrow. Big lifts.
I can't wait. Might affect my sleep now. I'll be up all night waiting for that.
Thinking about it.
Don't forget to check out my own Instagram as well. Yeah, that's it. Can't wait to see him lifting the new bench PB. Hopefully, fingers crossed for you, Paddy. Hope you get a good night's sleep before it too. Um, check out my own Instagram at lean.eats if you can. Please make sure to give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. Give us a rating on Apple Podcasts if you're feeling extra generous. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks to everyone that's listening, and wherever you are, whatever you're doing, we hope you have a great week.